What do 100,000 computer simulations tell us about both the Rams and the Chargers? For that matter, while we're talking about the Chargers, there's a possibility that Justin Herbert could already be better than Phillip Rivers. And is there any hope for Craig Kimbrel? Hi, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelenos. It's August 20th, 2022. I want to start off by thanking the new subscribers that we got last night on this channel. I appreciate every last one of you. Seriously. If you like the content we've been putting out about LA sports for the last 6 months, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment, for I am not perfect. I understand. Now, before we get to the news and notes from around LA today, let's talk about the scoreboard first. Mookie Betts tripled and scored in the 8th inning. The Dodgers sort of made it hold up. Dodgers 2, Marlins 1. They have an 18-game lead in the NL West, and by my calculations, their magic number is 25. We have a rapid recap on this channel about the LA Galaxy. Last night, Dejan Joveljic scored a penalty in stoppage time in the second half. Chicharito, by the way, 4 goals in 3 games. Galaxy 3, Seattle 3. And in an exhibition football game, Houston beat the LA Rams 24-20. Meanwhile today, Dustin May makes his first start since he had Tommy John surgery in May of last year. He'll be facing Brookston Garrett 2-6. Miami plays the Dodgers again. That's at 6 p.m. In an exhibition football game, Dallas will play the Chargers at 7 o'clock. And LAFC, they are on a 7-match winning streak. They will play San Jose. Should be an 8-match winning streak. Let's be real. The Athletic brought over a bunch of computer geeks, and let's just say, thank God, Skynet has not become self-aware. The computers have not taken over. They still serve us. They ran 100,000 season-long computer simulations, mapping out one scenario after another, and they have determined that the LA Rams have a 44% chance to win the division. Now, having said that, there's a much higher threshold to win the World Championship. They have a 5.5% chance to win, according to these computers, brought over by the Athletic. Take of that what you will. But what I really wanted to mention today, there is this poorly headlined article from the website footballoutsiders.com. It claims that the Rams actually carried Matthew Stafford to the Super Bowl title last year. Not mutually assured rising of the team. No. They claim the Rams carried Matthew Stafford. They ran the numbers. And the thesis is that Matthew Stafford had an offensive line for the first time in his career. For a website based on statistical precision, this headline is garbage. Okay? The headline is suggesting that Stafford is a way below average quarterback who just happened to benefit by having a bunch of superstars around him, that he lucked out. I would suggest the opposite. No, I don't. Let me rephrase. I would suggest he came to a good team, but that he was held down by the misfortune of having to play in Detroit for 12 years. Name one Detroit offensive lineman. I challenge you, let alone a good one. He was behind paper mache under center for all of those years. He had Megatron, but Megatron at least needed some time to get open, wouldn't you say? So in that prism, is it really fair to say that an entire team basically gave Matthew Stafford just a gob of luck? I don't buy it. Because the one thing we do know, looking through the exhibition season so far, is that the Rams aren't going to win another title without Matthew Stafford this year either. You see, if you looked at the two preseason games, there is a battle for who is going to be the backup quarterback for the LA Rams. Is it going to be Bryce Perkins or is it going to be John Wolford, who's been the number 2 for about 3 or 4 years now? Bryce Perkins, he played game 1 in the preseason pretty much on his own. He was 10 for 17 for only 133 yards. Now, he got a couple of touchdowns in there, but 133 yards, not too impressive. He also rushed for 39 yards. Now, Wolford didn't play last week. Last night, however, both Wolford and Perkins played against the Texans. What the Texans did during the match was just basically blitz a ton. Neither quarterback responded all that well. Wolford only got 2 field goals. He was sacked 5 times. Now, it is true that Perkins probably played a little better, but that was against even further bench warmers on the Texans roster. Matthew Stafford is not the quote-unquote beneficiary of nothing but luck. Matthew Stafford does, in fact, have talent. These same 100,000 computer simulations have said that the Chargers have a 27.1% chance to win the AFC West. After all the upgrades, and this is not clowning the Chargers are in fact a pretty damn good football team from all we've been seeing so far. The Kansas City Chiefs are the team that is still the favorite according to the computer models. They have a 44% chance to win. Chargers, second. Then come the Broncos and the Raiders. The Chargers also have a 4% chance to come out and win the Super Bowl, by the way. Now, Keenan Allen came out yesterday, and he is saying that Justin Herbert can do things that Philip Rivers can't. He's not necessarily trying to throw Rivers under the bus, but to be frank, from reading what Allen said, I agree. See, Rivers, he wasn't the so-called last player to leave, and you want your quarterback to be the first player there and the last player to go, being overwhelmed with film study, throwing footballs morning, noon, and night. Philip Rivers couldn't be that guy because he had 9 kids. Because Team Rivers was lousy at being team pullout. Philip Rivers loved him some raw dog. So Philip Rivers couldn't be there for his teammates, much like a lot of other quarterbacks could be. And honestly, Keenan Allen didn't say that. I'm saying that part because Keenan Allen is making a fair critique. Whenever he wants Justin Herbert to stay a little bit after practice and just throw the ball around and try and gain a little bit more insight, that connection between receiver and quarterback, Justin Herbert is there, Philip Rivers is not. And therefore, Justin Herbert is making throws that Philip Rivers could not. There's another reason that I would say Justin Herbert is way better than Philip Rivers would ever be, and that's because the one thing that Herbert does that Phillips definitely would never do is shut the F up. Philip Rivers spent all of this time talking trash. Super Bowl winning quarterbacks never talk trash. They don't, because they're so blown out. Their minds are just blown to smithereens from all that time in the film room, from all the time extra in practice. Philip Rivers, the only 2 quarterbacks that I could think of who were trash talkers were Jim McMahon. And Jim McMahon wasn't the reason the Bears won. That was the 46D. In addition to that, I would say that Aaron Rodgers was a trash-talking quarterback. He won 1 Super Bowl. So we're coming up on Super Bowl 55, and we have 2 trash-talking quarterbacks out of those 55 years. Philip Rivers undermined himself. Most quality quarterbacks are too bloody tired to talk crap. The LA Times broke down Craig Kimbrel's every game as a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And it's just not any good. It's not. They did everything. Home games, away games, day games, night games, over 500, under 500, righties, lefties. And in virtually any way you slice it, he's getting killed. The best case scenario, according to the LA Times, is that he has to pitch in night home games versus all right-handed hitters on a below 500 team. That's not what you're going to get in the playoffs. It just isn't. Now, I will grant you that the writer was making a bit of a joke about it, but he also drew the other conclusion that I mentioned on tapes throughout the course of the year. The Dodgers have a reason to be patient with him because they have such a massive lead in the NL West. By the way, he did not pitch last night. He did not get a save when the Dodgers beat the Marlins. Yesterday, I spent a lot of time talking about the UC regents, about how they might want to make a move to stop UCLA from joining the Big Ten. And I feel bad about what I said about some of the things yesterday because I was just giving you the news about it. They want this, they're saying this, they're threatening this. But I kept asking myself, why do they care if they leave for the Big Ten? Why do they care what Oregon thinks? Why do they care what Washington or Arizona or Utah think? They shouldn't. And they don't. They don't. So they have another motivation behind this whole thing, an ulterior motive that they have not mentioned. They don't care about Oregon or Washington. They don't care about whether the students have to take along plane rides. There is only one thing that government agencies give a damn about, and that is your money. I'm not trying to sound like Rush Limbaugh here. They want your money. They raise your taxes. They want their fees. They do this, that, and the other. They want money. And so what does that mean? They want UCLA's money from the Big Ten contract. This is them basically threatening them, saying that if you don't pay us money from your Big Ten contract, we will nix the deal. I would wager money on that. And I'm sorry, I realize I am the first person to say it. I should have been the first person to say it yesterday. This is a power play. And I'm sorry that I didn't mention it, guys, because you come here to hear things that nobody else will tell you. Meanwhile, Ken Norton Jr., the linebacker coach, was talking about his position players yesterday. He is high on transfer Darius Mussau, and he is also high on linebacker Kane Madrano. So those are two names to look out for when the Bruins play this year. The following Laker takes all hinge on whether or not you choose to believe ESPN analyst Mark Stein, or former ESPN analyst Mark Stein. 1, that the LA front office pledged to LeBron James that they would, quote, F them picks like the Rams for major upgrades to the roster. 2, also from Mark Stein, that LeBron desperately wants to get Kyrie Irving. And 3, that the Brooklyn Nets have rejected 2 first-round picks and Russell Westbrook with his expiring contract in order to get Irving. We've been hearing this crap for months. It's up to you whether you want to believe it or not. The funny thing is that neither the Nets or the Lakers are dealing from a position of strength, and that's one of the reasons why we're just hearing nothing but rumors. Finally, the Daily Mail, one of the few foreign press outfits that I actually put any belief in, are reporting that LAFC are close to luring former FC Barcelona winger Christian Tello to the team. I'm sure, just like Giorgio Chiellini and Gareth Bale, he'll sign for minimum wage, but who am I to judge? Now, if you enjoyed today's broadcast, don't be shy. Like and subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. Don't forget to do that. We are trying to build something here for LA Sports. I'm James. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quien Corte El Queso production. Take care.